Hey, peace, everybody. Welcome to episode 71 of the Flight Room Podcast. This is Lighthouse. I'm joined today by Paul Shack and Remy Please. Let's get into it, man. I guess it's another relationship episode again, man. A lot of relationship topics. Let's get into some hypotheticals. Let's say your parents want to disown you because of the relationship you in, just straight up like that. Let's say you got a partner, your parents don't like them, even to the point where they're saying they will actually cut off their relationship with you for your partner. What you doing in that situation? How y'all moving?
I mean, they always say like mama knows best and all that stuff, but I'm not speaking specifically about me, but I think you got to know the mind state of your parents, because some people got crazy ass parents and you can't be listening to every word they be saying.
Yeah.
But if y'all got that relationship where you take that, their advice, y'all can talk through things. You can see where they coming from, their point of view. Maybe you do got to reevaluate, where you are, where your relationship is, or maybe there got to be a whole sit down involving all, 3-4 parts, maybe more. But yeah, I don't know. This is something we always say. This is situational.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it holds a lot. Like Randall said, it holds a lot to what your parents say. But also you gotta like weed out the overprotective parents, right? So like you got the crazy parents that just don't like anybody until you with them for maybe 2-3 years and they grow on you. But also, I'm gonna just throw this out here. You got situations like PJ Washington and shit. And I'm pretty sure his mom was like, I don't like this hoe. Like, why you bringing her to Thanksgiving and shit? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, it's some shit that you gotta like take some heed to and see where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
I definitely think you should like listen to your parents' advice. But I think at the end of the day, the decision is ultimately on you. You're your own person, man. You can't let your parents control you. At the end of the day, you grown, you an adult. Even if they try to, threaten you as I'll disown you, like that's kind of manipulative. Like I don't know if I'll look at my parents a little crazy if they try to hit me with the I'm gonna disown you shit. Like that's pure manipulation.
Yeah, that's extra.
But what would I do in that situation, man? If they saying they're gonna disown me, I call they bluff, for real. I'm like, all right. Let's see if that's what you know. Because I'm looking at it like, come on, man. Like I'm my own person. Respect my decisions at the end of the day. If it comes out and it bites me in the ass at the end of the day, then that's on me.
Decision.
That's on me. You see what I'm saying? So to try to use that against me, like is that love? Is that love? You know what I'm saying? To disown you because of the partner that you choose.
And this is the thing too, just to piggyback off of that, every instance that I've seen that happen with, like when there's a grandchild in the mix, you know what I'm saying? That they change that tune real quick. They like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in the child's, you know what I'm saying, life, and I want to be able to like be a part of their growing up process. So then if that does happen, I've seen them like, be sorrowful and then come back and be like, let me take them for a week. And can I come back? Can I come, can I come to your house for a week? So yeah. But it's too extreme. I think that's too extreme.
There are some people though that's like real green and you really, I don't know, you got your nose so far up, your partner's ass that you really can't see what's going on.
That does happen
and maybe
too.
You do need somebody on the outside that knows you on a personal level that can tell you, hey, like you fucking up right now. And
yeah, I agree with that part. Like, that's nothing wrong with that. I'm just speaking on the disowning aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, the disown me, that's too extreme. But of course, if I think every parent has a right to tell their child, like, hey, I don't know about so and so. Like, you might want to take, look a little closer into that relationship. But at the end of the day, it ultimately falls on you. But you are right. Sometimes you will be so so green in the situation. Yeah, you so fucking fucking wrapped in love and shit. You don't even see what that person really is. So yeah, that does happen, and I think everybody needs somebody like that. But I just don't go co-sign the whole disowning shit. That's extreme. That's extreme.
Extra.
Maybe they have to say something that extreme for you to be like, you know what I'm saying? Hold up, maybe I do got like.
But that's not going to do it. That's not going to work for me. Not that way. Not that way. And I actually do agree with that, Paul, because when you say the thing about when like having like a grandchild involved, because sometimes they know like if they don't like you, but that's your child, they kind of gotta respect you in order to maintain that relationship with the grandchild. They know they can't just come at you anyway and think they're gonna just maintain that relationship with the grandchild. So that does kind of soften them up if they don't like you a little bit. That does happen.
And then there's just some parentals that's never been happy and they don't really want to see you happy.
But that's usually the case though. Usually the ones that
that sounds so messed up, man.
But there's a lot of parents out here who be lonely and they be trying to keep their child to themselves. And they almost feel threatened when they find out that their child is in love or they have somebody who they caught up in, I guess you would say. Some parents literally be trying to keep their child to keep them company because they don't have nobody, And that happens too. I done seen some siblings the same damn way. Like they don't want their brother to have a girlfriend.
I've seen that.
I've seen that too. So there's definitely family members that's like that. So I definitely
project their trials and tribulations on them. Like, oh, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? He just like the motherfuckers I fuck with and shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that. And then even if you think about twins, like, you know what I mean? The twins, when they got so close bond and one of them, gets a mate and then they don't hang out with them no more. And they can't handle that sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see that.
But yeah, anybody in the comments, if your parents threaten you, say they would disown you if you continue a relationship, what are you doing? Kick rock.
That same thing happened with Kobe and Vanessa, right? Like then his relationship with Vanessa, that kind of strained his relationship with his parents because I think it was something similar. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't he like meet Vanessa at like a video shoot or something like that? Wasn't it like something like that, right? And I think his parents probably looked at her as like a gold digger and they didn't want him to marry her.
Well, I think what's wild about that is like her people's, like her stepfather also said like the same thing.
Oh, for real? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, about her or about Kobe?
About Vanessa and her mother.
Well, what about that they are like gold diggers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But yeah, that shit happens, man. Like they said, Kobe had a strained relationship with his parents over his marriage and shit. For a long time. So
yeah, and that's not something you probably
But especially when you one of those people that got a lot of resources, you know what I'm saying, and your parents kind of feel like they gotta protect that. Like I'm sure like KD mom and some of these other athletes and who got like real close bonds with their parents, I'm sure their mother be like, hey, watch them, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them like what was this, man? Was it a movie or something where like it was an athlete and his mom said some shit like these women can take away from what we built, some shit like that. But I mean, but it's kind of true. Like, basketball? Was it loving? But you know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah. It's like watch yourself. Like we worked hard for this. Don't let like any chick just take that. Or was it Was it the joint with Denzel Washington?
He got game. He got game. That's why I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. He got game.
Yeah, but something similar to that.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
I mean, hey, let's keep this relationship going, though, right? This relationship topic. So, all right, hypothetical, another one. Your partner gets a job in another city across the country, and they take the job. Do they value the job more than the relationship? Do you take that like as if the relationship should always come before their dreams and their goals and ambitions, or like I mean, what do you think about that situation? Would you take that personally if your partner took the job and wouldn't even talk to you about it, just straight up was like hey, the relationship, you know, hey, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do, you know, like how would you look at that?
If it's a dream, you know, it's a dream job, or it's a one step in the right direction for your dream job. Like I'm not gonna block that. I'm not gonna block your happiness. I'm not gonna tie you down nowhere. But you know, if it's just, you know, a lot of people want to, you know, new scenery, new job, you know, switch it up. Shit does not work, especially a lot of people in this area. They want to go to Atlanta, they want to go to LA, they want to go to New York and shit like that. Just they want a change of scenery. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to do that, yeah, I mean, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. But if you're taking one step and I can see your vision, I can see like where you're going, I'm gonna be supportive. But if you just want to change the scenery,
I think if you're in a marriage, that's kind of disrespectful to make that decision without your husband or your wife. Even, you know, even if you have talked about it previously, like this is what I'm going to do if this happens, I feel like you need to respect, you know, your partner by kind of like, you know, communicating with them and kind of running that idea by before you accept it. But if it is their dream, this is what they wanted to do, even previous to meeting you, and you was on board with it, then, you know, you shouldn't block it. But I do think it's almost like a team decision at that point.
Do you follow your partner though? If your partner gets the job?
Oh, that's a good question.
You know, or do y'all live a relationship where they fly back and forth, maybe only see you on the weekends type shit?
See, that depends. I feel like if it's a position where it makes sense, like, you know what I'm saying, it's in, like, let's say it's in Europe, right? And you in the sport, hey, y'all know, and you in the sports industry or whatever, and then you get offered a job, you know, in sports for like marketing or whatever. I feel like that could work out. But if you already like, you know, substantial here or local, you might not want to take that trip. You might be like I'm good here. I don't want to sacrifice what I love because you're doing what you love. You know what I mean? So it might be that whole long distance shit at that point.
But do you try to maintain the long distance relationship, or do you think it'd just be better just to break it off and just keep it moving? You know,
in a marriage, I feel like
I'm not even gonna say a marriage.
Okay.
Marriage, you know, I don't think that's a reason to break up in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
just
marriage,
a relationship, like a 2-year relationship or something.
Like something like that.
That's easy. I would just let her go and do my own thing, like, and see her when I need to see her. That's what it is. Like Remy said, you don't want to block her. You know what I'm saying? Block her goals or her blessings, but also, you don't want to be a part of, you know, something where
that's not stable.
Yeah, you're not stable.
Yeah, it's not stable.
And you still waiting on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you wait in the second year she already moved, and you like, oh, shit gonna change. Nah, bro. Like, you gotta be realistic. You know what I mean? If y'all see each other like 4 or 5 times a year, then that's what it is. But why you ain't with her? You know, you gotta be square up. Like, I'm gonna be probably talking to somebody else. Like, just that straight.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much that's the most realistic thing. You know what I'm saying? I think if you ain't seeing your partner that often, then it's, you know, that bond ain't gonna be that strong, you know. So
what if y'all do have that sit down and talk, and you are married and y'all just not on the same page? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's saying she has to go, and you like saying like, maybe you should, you know, search something for around here. So like, if she's deciding, yeah, I have to go, and you're saying no, you shouldn't, then what do you do? Like, y'all had to sit down. It's not she's picking up her bags and rolling, and like, you know, that's that. Like, what do you do at that point?
I mean, how is that going to work? I mean, you know, if we talk about marriages and we talk about family units, you know, it's hard to try to maintain that, you know, when y'all not together. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
I don't know how that. I mean, but then again, I put it like this, right? Look at athletes. Athletes travel all the time. They don't be at home.
And entertainers.
Entertainers. You know? But then at the same time, we know we ain't stupid. We know what they be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Like, you know, you think these most of these athletes be, you know,
they got athletes coming home though. The athletes will come home after, you know, 5-game you know what I'm saying? Trip. Yeah, it's not 3-4 months out the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. That's true. Well, that's a tough decision, man. That's one of those decisions where, to me, I guess that's one of those situations where you like it's either the marriage or your career.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
see how that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see how it's going to work.
And then if you throw kids into it, you know,
The
that's
kids
just
always
complicated. So like, who the kids gonna stay with? You overseas, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. Like, how that shit gonna work?
All right, but then that comes into that question. Like, what's the most important thing? Is it the development of the kids or your own personal career as an adult? You know what I'm saying? Like, you try and live out your dreams, but what about the children's future? They need you there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what comes first? You know, and that I think that plays a lot in the modern day relationships. Like, everybody has their own goals and ambitions, and you know, dad's his goals drives him over here, and mom is over there, and then the kids just left in the middle, just to fend on their own. You know what I'm saying? Because we all want to chase our dreams. You know what I'm saying? So, what's more important, dream chasing or family development? You know what I'm saying? That's something to think about.
Is there a different dynamic on who's the one with the kids and who's the one out of town? I feel like it's a little bit easier if, you know, the man is the one on the road traveling versus the woman on the road traveling.
Because the woman's like the nurturer, and yeah, like I see what you're saying. Yeah. I think in this society, that's what we, you know, that's what we like default to, and it's not a lot of times that the woman leaves unless it's for like Marcus was talking about, like a TV show or entertainment, or you know, like they're doing a tour in Vegas or something, or a show in Vegas, or residency, some shit like that. But other than that, yeah, it's mostly a man that's out.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other jobs though.
Yeah, this one couple I follow on YouTube, they she's an actress and they got married like in their 20s, I think. And she moved out to LA and they made it happen. She was an actress and he let his wife move out there and they made it happen. You know, now they live together. He moved out to LA with her, I guess, when she got her money up. You know what I'm saying? That he moved out to LA with her. But yeah, that they made it happen. But I don't know how many people can do that. You know, so
yeah, man. So like all that's the time apart from each other. Does that create like a bigger separation, or does your heart grow fonder over time with the absence?
Does absence make the heart grow fonder?
Yeah.
I think it does in some way, but I think there's also a limit to where, you know, you almost resent the motherfucker, you know, because if it's a thing where y'all haven't seen each other in 3 months, like that ain't no real relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's you doing your own thing at that point. So I think it does in some instances, like let's say a weekend or a week or whatever, and then your partner come back. That does play a part in it. It's almost like, okay, you got that break, you got that little separation, and now, you know, you're able to kind of come together again. But yeah, 3-4 months at a time, I think it's going to be like a little bit of animosity rather than embracing the person.
Yeah, and I think it kind of ties into that. Remember, that conversation we was talking about familiarity breeds contempt. Like, I think absence does make the heart grow fonder because, you know, sometimes when people get used to seeing you all the time, it's like you get like kind of like watered down. It's like you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'm used to seeing you. It's like, oh, that's Marcus being Marcus again. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when people don't see you all the time, they kind of appreciate you a little bit more. So I do think that, you know, it can help. I think it does help, you know.
But there's a window. There's
definitely a window.
Yeah.
Because too much absence, then they forget about you completely.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and you operating on your own. You operating on your own again. Like you living that, you know, that soul worrying about you life at 2-3 months. So yeah, you might not even want to embrace them no more. It's like, I did this. I was successful on my own.
Right.
I'm good.
Because talking to someone on the phone or FaceTime is different from sitting there, feeling the vibes and, you know, cutting up, cooking for somebody, you know, chilling, watching a movie, you know, just that close contact. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot different.
What you think, Al? Does absence make the heart go fonder?
We talking about relationships?
Yeah.
Well, I guess everything.
Or in general.
Just general.
I was definitely in relationships, and then as you guys were just talking about, definitely it's that window as well. But I think that's how like long-term relationships somehow or another still thrive. Like sometimes people always question like how long-term relationships thrive, but I think it's that absence makes the heart grow fonder. But you also have to know and identify each trait inside of each person, because sometimes absence could make somebody just go completely AWOL or completely like against the grain and truly, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to say go apeshit, but truly forget about somebody or truly just start to move on with their life. But I do think absence does help, as long as you understand like the actual the dynamic of the relationship as well as dynamic of the persons involved in said relationship, whether it's physical, platonic, or just the friendships. Because sometimes, like even as you think about it with like friends, sometimes you don't hear about it. You don't hear from a friend, a straight up male friend, no homosexual tendencies involved.
Yeah,
but
say that.
yeah, but you don't hear from a male friend, and all of a sudden, like, it's just like once you connect back, you know what I'm saying, like you're back on good terms. You everything is back copacetic, like nothing went wrong. So I think it just all depends on the person and the people involved. But I definitely do think absence plays a part in making the heart grow fonder.
Yeah. Take some time, yeah, man.
That is true though. With like some male friends, like if you don't talk to them in a while and you might catch up, it'd be like you never lost a beat. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to tell. You may not have talked to him in a couple years. Hit him back, y'all right on the same page. Like y'all never stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and then also I think it also helps for people to grow too, because I mean I know it sometimes it just doesn't help to make the heart grow fonder, but it just allows for people the opportunity to grow too, because you understand people are dealing with different things and different ailments. So like especially like right now as you talk about COVID, and like many people haven't seen actual true friends and been around friends in a while, but at the same time, once you actually get together, it's like shit, I understand why we didn't get a chance to see each other in the flesh. Excuse me. Why we didn't get a chance to see each other in person is because you are handling outside responsibilities, or you're handling your family dynamic as opposed to actually trying to meet up and do different things. So sure.
Or in the COVID where you always up under somebody, and then now the sanctions are kind of get a little lax, and then they can go out with their friends, and now you spend the time by yourself or with your friends. So yeah, that absence is needed sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even as you think about like going to work and different things, like that's how like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it was a stat floating around with COVID and divorces and separations and maybe even domestic violence. And it's literally just because, as you was talking about, like people being up under each other and not having that ability to go to work for 8 to 10 hours a day and like literally see another person's face or hear another person's voice. And like when you get home, it's actually more of a welcoming.
Right.
It should always be a welcoming environment when you're at home, but it's more of a welcoming environment as opposed to like, oh shit, I'm dealing with the work stresses, I'm dealing with your stresses, and I'm dealing with the kids' stresses, hypothetically speaking. And now all of a sudden I have to deal with everything else. So I
instead of hearing the motherfucker chew loud and shit. Getting on your nerves.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's needed. I think it's needed here and there, but not for too long.
Yeah.
I agree.
Might have to get up out of there. But okay. Al, you want to talk about since you was a little tardy, if your folks threatened you, say they're gonna disown you to get up out of a relationship that they're not agreeing with, what you gonna do, dog?
That's a tough one, yo. For the simple fact of you always want your parents' quote unquote blessing in relationships. But at the same time, it's your relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's your relationship. You're enduring whatever it is that you're going through with the other person and your partner. But at the same time, you always want your parents' blessing. But if it's not blessed by your parents, who's to say that actual relationship is truly going to be a blessing? Especially because sometimes that parental guidance is something that you don't see, and so like their intuition or their judgment might be different from your in love judgment. You know what I mean? And so like with that happens, that could truly be something to take advantage of. And it also depends on the relationship that you have with your parents too, because sometimes it could seem like your parents are literally just trying to like go against you're trying to go against the grain, but at the same time your parents are truly trying to give you some good advice and some good intuition. But I think it all depends on how long you've been in a relationship. It might depend on how long you've been in the relationship, because truly this might sound bad, but if there are always other fish in the sea, or however you want to put that quote, and if that person isn't right for you at that moment, who's to say that later on in life that moment might not come back, and you might be able to revisit that or rehash that, and it might be a better opportunity for you. And if your parents are saying like I would disown you to if you're in this relationship, it might be best to not be in that relationship for me.
Yeah. How you gonna disown me though? Like I know you live.
Yeah.
I got a key. How you
gonna do that?
Yeah, we were saying how that's kind of extreme, like, you know, and it depends, like, you know, if you green, if you like all, you know, in love and you can't see it, you can't see the signs, or if you just got overprotective parents that don't like anybody you bring home. So yeah, I brought up the whole PJ Washington situation, how, like, you know, just imagine what his mom was saying when Shorty was coming to Thanksgivings and shit.
She might have not said nothing.
I don't know.
Somebody had to.
Somebody had to.
I know the fellas had to. The fellas had to.
Yeah, like they know who she is, bro.
Hey, but do fellas always talk? Because sometimes fellas don't always talk, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even if they don't necessarily talk, sometimes the person
they don't give you the truth.
Yeah, either that or sometimes the person isn't truly receptive. And so like you could be like, man, I don't know if she's right for you. She might be for the streets or something like that. You'd be like, nah, man. She's just had her experiences around. You know what I mean? She just had her
real.
That's wild though, because like,
would y'all straight up say that though? Like, what if, like, and let's just say, like, you know, somebody brought their girl home and you like, damn, bro, like she for the streets. Like, you would straight up tell your man that, just straight up.
I have before.
Yeah, I've had to too. But so this is the thing too. It's a half and half thing too, right? Because I could see also, like, the dude was in college when they started messing with each other. So I could see his college friends being like, "Oh, like you got a nasty joint, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you probably living life, you got a nasty joint."
Yeah.
And
you gotta look at it from like an 18
19 years old. You like, bro.
And they've been following her on Instagram for X amount of years.
So I think it's like a half and half. And then his friends that actually, like, you know, probably care about him and got knowledge and shit like that, like probably like, bruh, like, I hear you having fun, but just don't slip up. So yeah, I think that's a thin line, man. It's a very thin line.
Hey, also there's also that 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds are not only just them, but a lot of times people are doing things for clout too. So like, especially being as though she's a public figure and like you have.
Hey, she's a predator.
She is.
Like, she was going to his high school games, right?
Yeah.
High school games?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yo, if that ain't,
that's predatory like shit, though, bro. They say she was wearing his jerseys to his games and shit. Like,
yikes,
bro.
Yikes.
The signs was there, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know moms had to be saying something.
Right, she had to been at the game, right?
Had to.
How old are you again?
Right?
Man, who was this huzzy? Yeah, or at least somebody close to the family. God damn, but at least tell moms.
You know it.
Like, you know who this is?
Where's his agent?
But like, how would you feel if, at least for me, if you messing with a junk and then you know easily like your mans can go online and just see like every part of her fucking body. Like 2 clicks away.
2.
Yeah.
Nah.
A lot of people do it though.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I ain't saying not me, but it's common. It's some common shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, for real, all you gotta do is scroll down. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's girl. Like, I mean, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like maybe like you don't know the niggas that's like, you know, this is somebody's girl, this is my girl, this is somebody's girl. But if that's your girl and I'm looking at your girl and you know me, you know what I'm saying? That's a different dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And you over there lusting and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different.
yeah. So is there a point in time where, because if you listen all this time but then y'all break up, is there ever a time where your ex's friend is off limits?
Hold on, your ex's
Your
friend.
ex friend.
So you used to talk to Waukesha. You hold on, wait.
Goodness
We're going-
Christ, Waukesha.
Oh shit,
Waukesha,
Waukesha.
Listen, I went with Waukesha because I didn't want to go with no other names that we might know.
Okay,
in person.
okay.
So
And
that's
then
why I went
also
with Waukesha.
rhyme. Okay, I see.
All right, go ahead.
So yeah, if I mess with Waukesha and we split up and then you try to get at Waukesha, is that a no?
Oh yeah, that's a no. Yeah.
What about the other way around?
Say the other way around.
Why?
It's that Waukesha name that fucked you up.
Yeah, I know. Me and Waukesha break up. Me and Waukesha break up, and then I get with her girl.
Oh, okay. Okay, well that's her girl's fault. Like that's her girl's fault, right? Like
Why is it different?
It's the same because it's your friend, right? It's your male friend that shouldn't fuck it up, and it's her female friend that shouldn't fuck it up. I mean, you kind of dirty for going at her friend, but that's not really on you. Like, I don't think.
Is there a difference with if it's back to back or if it's like 5 years down the line?
Ooh, nah, I don't. I think it's harsh either way. What y'all think?
I mean, this shit happens.
This happens all the time, though.
This shit happens all the time.
What would you? I mean, isn't that so? Let's do the first scenario, right? Like you break up with Waukesha, and your man's is trying to holler at her. Like, ain't that that's a bro code? You ain't supposed to.
Yeah, that's bro code. That's like probably the first chapter.
Yeah.
But people definitely do it. And
People do it. I've actually seen it a lot.
I know of several.
It probably happens more often than not because
I was about to say I see it a lot in other races more than black people though. It's like it's not even a no-go in some races for some reason. I don't know, bro. When people say bro code, like that's it might actually just be a black thing because I don't see other people have that rules.
I've seen it. I've definitely seen it.
Yeah, like I've seen like this is at Maryland University. I've seen a dude break up with a girl. No, her break up with him, and then his man mess with her, and they all hanging out together.
Yeah,
like I'm like, bruh, that's weird.
I've seen that before.
Yep.
I've seen that before.
I mean, that's usually the scenarios on fucking Jerry Springer or
yeah,
all the time.
It's boundaries. It's boundaries.
But a lot of times it be people that be close around, you know. Like usually when somebody break up, you never really be surprised. You all usually know the next person that they end up messing with anyway.
Derek Fisher.
They may not be in your circle, but you usually know who that person is. You know what I'm saying? It's never like a straight up stranger. A lot of the times, you know.
Derek Fisher. Because maybe they just don't want to bounce too far out their circle. So I don't know. Maybe want something comfortable. I don't know. I don't see how people do this shit.
No, it's the truth. Because even as you think about like hypothetically, I mean not hypothetically, even as you talk about the Brittany Renner jump, like a lot of the times it's because like that friend or whatever, like PJ Washington's teammate. I'm not just gonna say PJ. I'm gonna say PJ Washington's teammate, but I don't mean it literally. Like it could be a teammate or it could be a friend that was just like, I was looking at her through Instagram, and then all of a sudden, like I thought it was my opportunity, time to shoot my shot because I always wanted that Joan or whatever like that.
Because if PJ was sharper and he had somebody as equally talented on his team, she probably would have got with him too. So
Oh yeah, probably. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, back to me, or to me, the question: are ex friends off limits? Whether it's Waukesha, my friend, or her friend?
Keisha, Waukesha, Zkeisha.
I think it's off limits, young. I mean, I think it's off limits because even if it's that pillow talk aspect too. Because now all of a sudden, like, whatever we did is going to be either compared, or it's also going to be like, you know what I'm saying, like whatever. So yeah, I'll just stay away from friends if I can. I'll just stay away from friends
all day
all day in the paint. Yeah. I know it's a lot of people in this area. It's a lot of people in this world.
And then just if you messing with your ex's friends, it's like now you all going to remain in their circle of conversation. Yeah. I don't want to be like, if I'm done with you, I don't want to be in any person's mouth who you associate with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather just get done with that and move on. So like, yeah, that's probably definitely don't want to be in that shit. So I agree with that.
All right. So in the girl aspect though, right? And say you would have jumped and, you know what I'm saying, she's always talking you up. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Oh, he does XYZ. He cooks. He cleans. He eat it from the back. XYZ. And, you know, she's talking you up. So now her friend starting to have eyes for you.
But you know that happens all the time.
That happens a lot.
You know that happens like, nigga, that happens like regular. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like usually if the girl is hyping you up, that's definitely gonna bring more females to you. Like, you know, that's just what it is.
So what was your
So it's her fault.
I ain't gonna say it's her fault. I don't know. I mean, come on, man. Y'all know how it works. Y'all know how it works. Come on, man.
It's their goddamn fault. You brought
but that happened a lot too, bro. I don't know.
But some people just cut from a different cloth, man. Like facts. And it works for them. They don't see no problem with it. They don't have no hesitations. It don't, sit on their conscience whatsoever. So, I mean, if you could do it, that's for you. It's not for me. Not for me.
Yeah. It'll sit on my conscience way too long.
Right.
Every time, not only I see the person, but also every time I see my friend or ex-friend, whatever. So, yeah.
Right. Get them fucking Google photos. Oh, remember this memory and shit like that. Nah, bro. That's too weird.
All right. So, quick question. Similar. Are ex-friends off limits for friendship after a relationship? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you
y'all doing?
Out. Yeah, just, I know.
Not even.
I don't see the point.
What are y'all doing? You invited me to like a cookout or something? That's fine. That's fine.
What if I invite you to a fantasy football league?
That's fine. I'll take y'all money. It's not something like intimate, like a fucking, I don't know, like a double date or bar hopping or some shit like that, where something could potentially happen.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you start dating somebody, you kind of like their friends, kind of you become friends with their friends. But when that's over,
it's like see when I see you.
Yeah, I don't see the point because you still gonna be in those social circles with your ex, and now because you talk to them now, you on everything she doing now. It's, indirectly, you're going to get information on her on what she doing now. So.
Yeah, you cut them off completely.
But me, when I'm done with somebody, I'm done with somebody. I don't like that. I don't. That's just me, though. That's just me.
Yeah, I think that gets messy when if you start hanging out with their ex, your ex's friends, and it just keeps you in that circle like for that long time. Especially if your man mess with a girl and he's done with her, and now you sending messages and how y'all doing over there, like it's a little messy, so yeah, I try to just separate that shit. I don't even want.
What about family's
exes?
Yeah, are they off limits?
I say yeah.
I told you how I roll. I don't know what else to tell you, y'all.
Yeah, I say yeah. Yeah. That I can see that being a little volatile too, because like if somebody had feelings for a guy, even if so. Let me just give you an example. So like, all right, if we all went to high school, right, and my sister was messing with a guy, and then I stayed friends with him, and we go into the football games and shit. You know, even if she ain't, you know, like fucking with him like that or thinking about him, like that shit keep coming back every time I hang out with him. So yeah, I don't, you know, I wouldn't do that to my family. I think that's, I don't know.
All right, this kind of off topic. What about you know, we all friends, and somebody introduced me to a second or third cousin. Are they off limits?
Oh,
Hypothetically.
So you saying is it are family members off limits?
Period.
For your friends, basically.
Yeah. Period.
oh, that's a tricky one. Second or third cousin?
First one, but y'all
Oh, first one.
a long distance relationship.
Damn.
I mean, don't that happen all the time though? Like your
Yeah.
you know, your friend might end up dating your sister or whatever the fuck. Don't that type of shit happen all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know your friends though, right? Would you let your friends date your sister?
No.
No.
It's like I'm just playing, man. Just playing. I don't know. It depends, man. Everybody
on the
different.
friend?
So yeah, depend on the friend. Some of your friends you be like, all right, this is a solid dude right here. I know
Right,
you straight.
right.
And then some friends you be like, you know what I'm saying? So
It'll be me.
you know what I'm saying? It depends. It depends. You know, everybody's different.
Couldn't be Phil.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
ain't saying nothing.
I feel like the first cousin might be it might not be that bad for a first cousin. It might not be that bad for a first cousin. Like if you introduce them and you like Marcus said, if they actually like, you know, seem like they be right for each other, not somebody that is a you know, like straight
Dickhead.
player, straight dickhead, straight fuck boy. But yeah, and then if it work, like, you know, you got some clout.
And then if your cousin or sister or whoever in your family, if they like one of your friends, you can't really do nothing about that shit. Like, yeah, you can't do nothing. That's them. You know what I'm saying? So It is what it is.
I'll just say I ain't playing matchmaker. I ain't doing no introducing. If it happens, it happens. But I ain't playing matchmaker.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I would definitely give you a disclaimer though. Like, understand who you fooling with.
Yeah. Especially if it's your cousin or sister. Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely in that case.
Yeah, guys, please don't make this weird. Please don't make this weird. Phil.
Why
because he not here.
Right. Good for him. All right,
Phil
so
was supposed to be on that topic for
hell yeah.
or this next one.
What's this next one?
All right, so we talking about, you know, birds of a feather. We talking about Brittany Renner. So, do birds of a feather flock together? And in parentheses, we have whole ass friends. So, so let's say is, you know, Brittany Renner, and you can actually see some of this shit. But let's say she's hanging out with a couple of her friends. You know what I mean? And you know, they hanging out at the club or whatever. Do you associate the friends that she hang out with doing or having the same mentality that she has?
I say, you know, just in general, like what's that word or that term is, like, you know, guilty by association. You might have a friend that might have a bad reputation, and then because you hang around with them now, that, you know, that reputation becomes a part of you. You know, that's almost like life, you know what I'm saying? And even like they say what two people can't walk together unless they're in agreement, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, there has to be something that they agree on, or they wouldn't be hanging out. They got to be some similarities. You know, I ain't gonna go to extreme to say it's like, you know, as far as being a hoe and hoe shit, but outside of that, there's something there. There's definitely something in agreement. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to be hanging around with each other, and not even just that, like. Just in general, like, let's say you trying to go out with your friends and you trying to have like a wild night. You know the friends that call when you trying to have a wild night, and you know the ones that call when you just trying to chill. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you know, like I said, you can't walk together unless you're in agreement. Right. So,
and if it wasn't like that, you'll probably outgrow those situations.
Exactly.
You won't chill with them.
Exactly. You couldn't have said that any better. That's exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I definitely think birds of a feather flock together, even though a lot of y'all females will say otherwise. When I do ask,
Oh yeah, they always say that.
I will say birds of a feather definitely flock together. Or y'all might just like, well, I don't know. Some girls say they like that is like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Or that would never be me. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
why are you always there? Like, why would you put yourself in a position where you got fucking babysit or put yourself in a compromised position? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not having fun doing the things you do, why be there?
Some people just like a train wreck. Some people just like to watch people fuck up because it's
entertainment.
It's the truth. Some people just like to watch people fuck up. You know,
yeah, I've heard that too. So you have I do believe there's always like one like quiet joint. Like, I'm not gonna say like she ain't trouble or nothing like that, but there's always like one. There's always like one quiet joint that just be like amused by the whole fucking situation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's funny. They might not necessarily have the same mindset, but they sometimes just like hanging out with that atmosphere, which to me means that it's part of you somewhere. Like,
and I also see where some friends will be like the protector of the group and shit.
Right.
Like, you know,
because they already know how she get down.
There's always one that's
that's
like
true.
There's one that tags along to be the responsible one. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I've seen that shit before too.
Oh, and then when people try to talk to her, she want to be like, nah, and she ain't want to talk to you.
She knows she's going.
Yep.
She knows she's going.
It also be like an instigator in some of the groups too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, that shit can be broken down to a science, like the clicks that go to the club, like the who plays what role. You know what I'm saying? That shit is like a science for real.
So I got a question.
How to build a roster.
So I got a question. Right. Is it levels to this shit, right? So let's say it's 3 girls, right? And you kind of vibing, you seeing the personality, you seeing what type of, you know, what one's like trying to get all the attention. It might be one that's like, you know, more of a laid back joint, and then it might be one that just like to dance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is it levels to it? So where you like, all right, I know that joint probably want everybody's number in here, but the second one kind of is my vibe. Like, I fuck with that, and even if she got a little, you know, extraness to her, I could fuck with it. I can handle it. Like, is it like that? Even when you might have like, when you might have like a.
You can't really judge it. Sometimes it's hard to judge a book by its cover, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes the quiet ones be the opposit. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa, or the one that's out there may not really be going like that. You know what I'm saying?
Socks off.
You know, you just never know. You never really know for real.
So I'm just asking the potential though. Is it so? We talked about birds of a feather, right? So like, could it be like a hoe in the group, and then could it be like levels to that shit? Like one might be the hoe, straight hoe, and acknowledge it. And then the second one might be like just a party girl. And the third one might be like, hey, like it's fun to hang around with these motherfuckers, but I'm only a freak with my man. And other than that, I'm faithful. Like, I feel like it actually might be a balance to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, there's groups that play different roles, but sometimes all 3 of them ready.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Hey.
This isn't our first rodeo.
But no, I definitely think back to the original question, I definitely think birds of a feather flock together, and somehow or another they have some lived experiences or what have you along the way that can shape the friendship and shape the different dynamics of the relationship. So you can definitely see it even as they go out, hypothetically speaking, if they go out to the club, you can definitely see like the dynamics and you can understand or possibly see if it is a true, like, you know what I'm saying, birds of a feather moment, or if it is just like a friendship in which, like, you know what I'm saying, is different dynamics to it. Whereas though it's like, all right, well, we're going to go out and celebrate somebody X, Y, and Z, Waukesha's birthday. But as we going out and celebrating Waukesha's birthday, we know Waukesha going to get turned to the max. And I just got to be here to be a protector or an instigator for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can already hear it already. So, what about men? Like, if men in the club, do birds of a feather flock together with men? Like, do y'all think it's the same thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
You think so, man? Because I feel like it'd be some cliques where it'd be maybe a couple guys that be, you know what I'm saying, doing them, and then it might be one or two guys in the clique that don't get no ass, don't get no play, don't get nothing. They just be there. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just be there. Like, I think that should happen. You know what I'm saying? And some guys, they might, you know, straggle off with the main guy, you know what I'm saying, be picking up, and then they just pick up with, you know what I'm saying? Well, he got the girls, now I'm just gonna pick up one of her friends, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Or do you think it'd be like when you see a group of dudes out, they just all players? It's all of them.
Nah,
I mean that's
what I'm saying.
That's kind of birds of a feather though. Like if y'all all out for the same mission,
it's still the same mentality.
Yeah. It just some are better flyers than the other birds.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
But yeah, I mean, you can apply this, not, you know, whole shit aside. You can apply it to everything else, like birds of a feather, your ambition, you know, your family values. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna ain't no deadbeats in our circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all, you know, flying straight. No pun intended. But yeah, you know, ain't nobody like, you know, in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, birds of a feather do flock together. I mean, we're like-minded. We're not too far from, like, you know, our arguments kind of teeter here and there sometimes, but we, for the most, agree with each other. Except C-Mo sometimes. Yeah. So, yeah, birds of a feather definitely flock together. But yeah.
I have a question. I have a question about that. Just because you just said that, and this is completely different, it's completely separate. But is it always good to hang around people in which the arguments and the debates are the same? Or, you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily even the same, but to not get a different viewpoint and not get a different understanding from somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you have to mix it up sometimes, just for like that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, if just like if you go on, like, bro, I don't know why I keep doing this. I keep logging on Twitter and I keep seeing this stupid ass like rhetoric every day. Everybody, all they want to talk about is vaccines. Everybody all want to talk about like the same shit like every fucking day. It's fucking annoying. But yeah, you need to shake it up. Like, me having, you know, my, you know, theories on this XYZ is good to have, you know, that dynamic to, you know, let me know that I'm on, you know, the right path. For, you know what I'm saying? You can't have too much, you know, I guess like yes men for real. You gotta have that combativeness.
Yeah, I think it helps you grow too. Like, when you able to kind of debate
mental exercise,
when you able to kind of debate with whoever, like, you actually might take some points from what they talking about and be like, all right, like, that makes a little sense. Like, I'm not going push my agenda 100%. Now I'm going to push it 80% because what you said actually made a little bit of sense. So,
and what you said, sorry, Paul, but and what you said might also make me do some more research on my point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to sharpen it a little bit.
That's the most important part. Yeah, like I like when I debate with somebody and they be like, "Damn, I ain't think about it. Let me look at it." But it's true though. But it helps you though. Actually, make it. It helps your, you know, just your overall perspective, man. And just research, because even when you do your research, you start to see shit you ain't see before, and you can just apply that to what you already know. So I think that's really good.
All right.
What you got? What you about to say?
I was just about to say, since y'all talk about yes man, it seemed like and DJ Envy said it, and I'm just gonna go off what DJ Envy said, but he said somebody seemed like they only got yes men in their corner, and he just dropped a new album, and they say it ain't. I don't know. I ain't listened to it yet. I haven't listened to it yet.
I haven't either. But is he saying that that's why the album is trash? Because
I think what he was saying that it wasn't necessarily related to the album. It was just related to the pushing back of the album, and then like the actual the rolling out of the release of the album and everything of that sort, and how it was supposed to be X, Y, and D. I mean, whatever date that was, and then they pushed it back, and then it was supposed to be another date, and then basically like how
it came out like.
That's why I don't get that either.
It didn't come out when he didn't want to come out. Like, I don't get it.
Nah, because I think what he was saying was DJ Envy's point was that basically like Kanye, what he thought was Kanye released the album, but he wasn't getting the feedback in which that he wanted to from when Kanye wasn't getting the feedback that he wanted to from when he released it. And so that's why he said like Universal dropped it, or Universal dropped the release without his or released it without his knowing.
For real?
Yeah, Kanye said that. He said Universal dropped it or released it without him knowing, and without his approval. They released it too early or something like that. And so that's what Envy was saying. He was like, it's Yes Man in the corner. And it seemed like that basically like some of the stuff that was supposed to be on there or that is on there wasn't clear. And it was basically in response to like a lot of the different artists and a lot of the different people that are either on there or supposed to be on there that said like my verse wasn't cleared, or my verse was supposed to, or that's not the verse I cleared, or something like that. And so it sounded like what to me Envy was saying, like basically like people are like people were giving him feedback, and rather than him just accepting the feedback, it was like, all right, well, Universal dropped it before I had finalized it, basically.
Okay, yeah. Kanye was done to release by Universal without my say, artist claims.
But I ain't listened to the album.
But yeah, so. I mean, if they released it without, clearing shit, that's on the label. Either way, I listened to it. I mean, I can see why people say, they don't really like it. I had no problem with the shit. There was a lot of, like, if you like production, if you like, I don't know, like all the innovative sounds, and if you like, I think it was like a blend of Yeezus and My Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like, I ain't really had no problem with it. It was, I think it was better than Life of Pablo shit. I think it was better than Yeezus. There's some jumps on there.
Yeah, he got some joints on there. I listened to it too. Like you said, it's the same thing. I think the thing that might throw people off is like, because we used to listening to like quote unquote secular music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Kanye started joining off, and you riding in your car, he just talking about God. That's off the break. Like, I don't think that's just something people want to listen to when you listen to a rap artist. So, you know what I'm saying? That ain't the vibe like you just immediately, you know what I'm saying? And then as you listen to it, he start getting into the more type vibes that we more familiar with. But it could be a little off-putting, like when you just first popping the joint in the tape. I mean, popping the turning it on or whatever, and then you just ride it, and it's like God this, God that. It's like, I don't think a lot of people, when they want to listen to rap, that's not what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? To be honest. So I think that might be off-putting. But outside of that, the production, the overall creativity, I thought it was good. Like you said, I thought it was his best album in his last few. And then also, man, just in general, like, the negativity that Kanye be getting, like, I understand, all the other shit, but like, I was listening to the Breakfast Club the other day when they was talking about the album, and they had people calling in, and like all the people calling in wasn't even talking about the album. They were just like, fuck Kanye. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how we call y'all to talk about the album, and all the people calling in on some fuck Kanye shit. They be like, I didn't listen to it, but fuck him. Like, I was like, huh? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I thought we was doing album reviews. So I thought that just lets you know already off the break that there's already like a negative bias. So it's not, when people talk about Kanye, it ain't just about the music. It's about how they personally feel about him. You know what I'm saying? I think that kind of clouds your ears. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you feel about somebody, I think plays a lot into how you receive their music as well too. So I think a lot of that was going on.
But yeah, production wise, I think that shit was solid. I mean, if he would have got more shit cleared, it would probably been even better. But the collabs, like, who do you know can get, outside of like DJ Khaled, which is going to sound like all over the place, who's going to get all those different type of artists, from Jay-Z, the Young Thug, the Kid Cudi, the whoever, on one album and make it sound sonically unified? You know what I'm saying? But the
thing, like, even like you said, DJ Khaled, but DJ Khaled's joints be sounding like too like grand, too like.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not one.
like even Kanye still, even though he's like really, you know, creative with the production, it still has this like what's the word? You know, it feels like natural. It feels, you know, homegrown kind of. I can't think of the right word I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like so super produced. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Manufactured,
you know, manufactured. Yeah, it don't feel that way. So I enjoyed that album. I thought it was good. 27 songs. No, we ain't got that level of attention span
27?
No more. Yeah, we ain't got that. We ain't got that level.
He needs to lock himself in the stadium more often if you're doing 27 songs.
Dang.
And that's another thing.
He did two. We had a lot of music from Kanye in a while, so I'll take 27 tracks.
Right.
Like I don't have a problem with that, you know. So
and people got a problem with it being edited, but if he pushing all this, you know, the God, you know, message and Jesus and all that stuff, wouldn't you want it to be edited? You can't have, you know, this or that. You know what I'm saying?
And then also, as you think about it, I mean, he got his mom name on the album too, so
right.
You already know you gotta if you honoring her, you gotta put that joint out, and when it's truly right and truly ready. All right, so what's the perfect? I don't know what to say perfect. What's the best ideal way to listen to this album? Because you know, sometimes in your car.
In the car, probably on the way to work,
or working out. I'd say working out. You could probably listen to this joint.
You definitely need some subs because.
Oh, really?
A lot of drums are like,
all right,
yeah, knocking.
All right.
And if Kanye don't produce an album for Jay Electronica spaz on that one verse. He need to produce an album for Jay Electronica. Spaz on that verse.
You said Jay-Z on there too.
Jay-Z on there.
Jay-Z like on the first track, if I'm not mistaken.
On that God joint?
On track 1, I think Jay-Z on that joint.
2.
Or 2, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to it tomorrow.
He got Benny on that joint. He got Griselda. Like, he got all the features you want to hear. The locks, like all the important, important people.
All the important people.
And he still got a mix of all the youngins too.
Right, like Travis Scott and Fabio and Playboy Cardi on that joint. Yeah, everybody.
So yeah, overall, I think it was a good album. Simple as that. I thought it was good. I think it's one of his better albums out of his last few. And I don't have no problem with it.
Yeah, I liked it. It's like a blend of My Dark Twisted Fantasy and Yeezus. And people don't like Yeezus, but I like Yeezus just because the stuff like that you listen to really don't sound like the stuff that's like, you know,
anything else.
Yeah.
Even the production in this, you know, I mean, even though he sprinkled in some familiarity, but it still was different. It don't sound
innovative.
Like nobody else. It don't sound like nobody else shit.
Expand.
And that also might be a little off-putting to some people because I think you get so used to hearing a certain sound, a certain way that the music goes, and then you listen to Kanye joint, it don't sound like. I remember a lot of people saying, "Oh, the production sound dated." That shit don't sound dated at all to me, but people were saying that. You know what I'm saying? I think this because it's like, I think when they were saying dated,
I ain't gonna say dated, but everybody want to hear College Dropout again. Like you can't do College Dropout 5 albums in a row. Like it's like you're gonna be put off by that shit.
Or it might not be dated. It might just be Kanye West style. We haven't heard Kanye West beats in a long time, and we heard his beats, so maybe that just sound dated because it don't sound like what everybody else doing right now. Because that's his sound. As simple as that.
But I'm just saying because I always hear people saying, "Oh, I miss college Dropout Kanye." Like, bro, you're not going to hear that shit with any artist that has longevity.
Yeah,
like I would like to hear fucking Carter 1 Lil Wayne. I'm never going to hear that shit again.
Plus, them motherfuckers ain't living the same life. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's a billionaire now. Like he ain't thinking the same.
Right. You don't have that
like late 90s Jay-Z. I would definitely like that guy.
Yep.
Late 90s Jay-Z was crazy.
Yep. Even though I appreciate this. Last 2 years, 2, 3, 4 years, Jay-Z verses, like those are top tier. I would put those against like late 2000s Jay-Z. Like, I would say those are like the verses are just more meticulous and thought out.
It's more crafted. Well, it's like
that shit is like just a star dish. You know what I'm saying?
Like a 5-star. Yeah, 5-star
laid
dish,
out,
bro.
just laid out like that. But
yeah.
And that's what we try to do over here at the Flight Room Podcast. We try to lay this shit out like a dish each and every Wednesday live, 9:35. For you fucking niggas in the 99, 2000. But yeah.
My man's a poet.
But yeah, follow us all over to Overtime. Make sure y'all watch our 5th quarter podcast. We talk about sports. NFL is gearing up. We might do a draft show Sunday. We might do that shit. We might do maybe some live watch parties for the football season. I don't know. We got kicked off last time. We tried to do that. But we'll try to figure it out. I might have to get like a green screen or some shit like that. But we'll figure it out. If there's any conspiracies y'all want to talk about Overtime, let us know. Send us a message. Anything you want to cover. I like doing research. But yeah, it's the Flight Room Podcast. Twitter, Instagram, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, I don't know, Flying Pigeons, all that good stuff. But yeah, catch us on the flip. Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Peace.
How about them Cowboys?